Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you watch this. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I am here with a quick course overview for the one-on-one course that we will be taking together. So welcome to class. I very much look forward to working with you this semester and learning more about organizational behavior and human resources, which is what we will be doing. This is a beautiful picture. I think it is Iceland. I was trying to find a sweet landscape picture of Sweden, which is where I'm from, but no such luck. So Iceland will have to do a stand-in for Sweden. I have been here on a quick layover back to Sweden, and it is just as cold as it looks. What places have you visited? Sweden, indeed. My family are all still back in Sweden, some of which are in this beautiful capital of Stockholm. My sister lives in Stockholm. My other sister and my mom lives in a town called Eskilstuna, which is a little bit outside of Stockholm. I also had the opportunity to spend some time at the University of Gothenburg. This is their College of Business. Actually, this is their College of Business. I had my office in there. This is the beautiful library, which you see over here. And this is a place where I would spend a lot of time reading books, a little bit of a nerd that way. And I still get to go back to Gothenburg and teach in their executive MBA program every year, essentially. I am also a twin mom, right? Probably my hardest job. And I'm laughing because I'm looking at Jack sticking out his tongue on this picture. The boys are a little bit older right now, but I did keep this picture in because I think it is so adorable. Being a mom is probably the hardest job I've ever done, especially being a twin mom. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. But man, is it challenging sometimes. And even though I grew up in Sweden and spent a lot of time there, of course, I would say I'm super Americanized. I've at this point spent more than half of my life, I think, or is it what? Yeah, close to half my life here in the United States. And so what I did, I went to the University of Arizona, which is where I have received all of my degrees. So I have 4 academic degrees, and so I believe in being educated. And congratulations to you for being here today. Education is key, and continuous learning, absolutely, we have to do it. So I have a couple of bachelor's degrees in psychology, international business, business management. I have a master's degree in business management as well as a PhD. And I was also a first generation student, like many of you are. And so my father was a farmer. He passed away when I was very young. I was still a child, small child when he passed away. And my mom was also uneducated, blue collar. And so I know the challenges and the struggles that you might feel sometime, even though I did that many moons ago by now. But it's worth it, right? So education, the pain and suffering, if you feel that you might feel that is temporary, but what you gain from it, your degree, your knowledge, the network, the connection to the community, that is long term, and that is absolutely priceless. It's a little bit of a workaholic, maybe still, even though I try to not be as much. I do consulting outside of campus, and so you'll catch me talking generally, not obviously about my clients, but generally about how the businesses around our community work and the challenges that they face, and what they do very, very well, and what makes them super effective and high performing. Okay, heading into some of the class details. For registration, now that school is open and on, during the first 2 weeks of the semester, you can choose whether you drop or add the class. So if you're choosing to drop it, you will go on to our platform, university platform, and do that on your own. If there are open seats in any classes, you can enroll, including this one. I do not subscribe beyond the course cap. I have quite a large course cap for each of my courses, and I do not take on additional students beyond that. It is also important to note that I will not drop you. So if you fail to show up, to do the work, you still have to drop the class. I will not go through and drop students administratively. Okay, that's our first couple of weeks. And then what happens is that after those 2 weeks, you will have to go through me and through our office at the university to add the class if you will want to do that, as well as to drop it. So we have something called an add or drop petition, and somebody in our office here will process that for you. So if you are at a point where you need to add, if you need to drop it, or you might want to add it because there is an open seat all of a sudden, then you will email me, not through Canvas, but through my university email. If you are not enrolled in the course, you cannot hang out with us. You cannot take part in any of our meetings. You cannot submit assignments. You cannot participate in any activities. You need to be formally enrolled into the course to be able to participate in any of the activities. We will be using a textbook called Principles of Management. This is version, sometimes a challenge with my English, version 4.0, and it's at flatworldknowledge.com. And so you have a few choices. You can either opt for the online only access, which is the absolutely cheapest. If you choose to do that, you will need to have data or Wi-Fi to access it. The next one, which is recommended by the publisher, is the downloadable textbook with online access. And with this one, you can actually download the PDF and access it, even if you do not have data or Wi-Fi at the moment. You may also choose to purchase a textbook, either colored, printed with online access, or color printed with the downloadable and online access. You do not need a printed textbook unless you want one. If the online version is sufficient for you, that's great. Stick with that. If you want a textbook, beautiful. Go ahead and order it. They do just-in-time printing, so it may be a couple of weeks before it's shipped to you, and they do that to keep their inventory down, which keeps prices down, which is also a reason why I'm choosing this. If you look at the cheapest book, it's $35 or so, and some of the other books that I've used in the past run way over $200, and that was years ago. And so this is quite a good product for the price we're getting, or good price for the product we're getting, however you want to look at that. This point over here about the Flat World Knowledge homework platform, I talk about in the general policies video. So head over to that one if you're curious about this one. Also, I would need to know if you go by a different name, if you have changed your name, etc. Because we use multiple platforms. I have Canvas this semester. I have Flat World Knowledge this semester. So if you go to Flat World Knowledge to register, which you need to do for their homework platform, and you use a name that is different from the one that I have on the roster or in the Canvas, I will not be able to match your grades up. So I need to have a name for you that is the same across all of the platforms, across all of the learning management systems that we use. So please inform me if you have a name that I need to be aware of that doesn't show up on my records. So what you will do is you will get the textbook like we talked about. You can select the format over here. So you'll get a textbook. And once you have the textbook, what you will do is you will register for the homework platform. So you need both. You need both the textbook and you need the homework platform, okay? So number 1 over here and number 2 over here. The homework platform requires you to put it in an email. Please use your CSUS email. Please use your A school email. Use your school email. Just excuse me one moment.